Chastity, is that the Sue over the money? That's Sue? That's Sue? Because there's a username called Sue Nelson too.
Yes, girl.
Sue over the money?
Yeah, not just justice for Micah though. It's other things also.
Wow.
But yes, Justice for Micah fundraiser is part of it.
Holy moly. And she's in jail.
Yes, she's in jail. There's no bond yet. 7 felonies and 1 misdemeanor.
So everybody that reported her to the FBI.
Correct. So they had been investigating, which is
Ah,
awesome. Yes.
holy cow, that is amazing.
Yeah. That screenshot I sent you was from Casey's Live. We were just over there. So I screenshotted it, sent it to you because I didn't know if you'd get it before you got on here.
No, I didn't have any idea. I got up out of bed, took a shower, got ready, and hopped on.
Yeah. So.
And also, I'm having a hot flash. Let me open this window.
Yeah, Angie. Sue Nelson has been arrested. 7 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. Justice for Micah fundraiser is part of it, but not all of it. It's for other things too, so.
To me, Dana, on you can send me an email too at stephscasefiles@gmail.com. Laura, she was the one responsible for the big fundraiser that happened over at SCM for Justice for Micah. She collected and handled the money, but she never sent the stuff. And, everybody kind of caught on to it. And it was this big, she was supposed to put her house up for sale to help pay for it and this and that.
Right.
Good morning, Michelle. Hey, Jenny. Well, everybody come in and let's get settled. Start tapping because a tapping is a clapping. We already have 130 souls in here. Let's see if we can get to infinity and beyond.
Right?
I'll put a number on it at this point. Good morning. Hey, Mary. I'm so glad you're feeling better. I missed you.
Oh, I know. Me too.
I missed you hopping up on panel.
I know. I felt like death. I mean, I literally was in the bed for like 4 days. Couldn't hold my head up. So I didn't even check my phone the whole time. It just sat there.
Lord, I bet.
Yeah.
I don't feel like doing anything or touching anything when I'm sick either. I just want to be left alone.
Right?
Oh, Renee, Sue has been arrested and is in jail on multiple charges, including charges from the theft of that money. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. Because my other phone, I'm so used to having 2 phones at my disposal and one won't charge, so I'm feeling quite oddly.
Oh, Lord.
But I'll look at it. I'll give my phone another minute to charge here, and I'll switch it to my other phone, and we'll read it, okay? Lisa says, Yippee, that's great. She needs to pay. Absolutely. I agree.
And she can no longer do this to anybody else. That's the thing. I mean, it's not just for that fundraiser. It's for other apparent fundraisers. So she's
Right.
done this to multiple people.
Right. Well, that hey 10 lines. Yes, I'm glad. I'm so glad. And when you submit stuff to the FBI, you wonder if they really look at it or, if they're listening. But this kind of proves that they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I had my doubts. Like, I was like, I don't even know if they would mess with that. But I mean, that was a substantial amount of money. Like, it wasn't just, a couple $1,000s.
Right. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Marion says, who let her be involved? I don't know. See, I wasn't involved in that, so I don't really know how she
Right.
got in. It was over $20,000, they're saying.
Yeah.
Christy
I mean,
says
she was,
JP will be tomorrow.
hopefully. I mean, she was vetted by them, and I mean, if you look her up on Google, she had she's been in newspaper articles for in Georgia where she's done other fundraisers and things like that, and there was nothing nefarious on there going on. So like, you would have never known that she had done this before.
Yeah.
Like they did their due diligence. There was no way for them to know.
Right. That's right.
There's just crappy people in the world, and unfortunately we have to find that out the hard way sometimes.
Hmm. I agree. Thank you for sharing the live, Mary. We are already at 7,000 likes. Let's see if we can get to 20,000 likes. 10 corgi cord cords is today's live go, in case you can throw a corgi cord. Hey, Melissa. I'm so used to hitting my soundboard, and it's not hooked up. I think today is the day I upgrade this other phone because it's the new C port in the new ones, and this one don't have it. It's an older iPhone, so it don't work with my soundboard. Anyway, I got so mad today. I'm like, I'm gonna upgrade today and get me a good new phone.
There you go.
So I always have two, and I don't lose mic access. MJ says there are many variables and veins, and they're investigating. Justice is coming.
Oh yeah.
Cheryl, thank you so much. I hope so. We are patiently waiting, and it didn't seem like it unless Sue had been under investigation for quite a long time. That didn't take long.
Right.
So they're working.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think there's so many ins and outs on, Micah's case that it makes it more complex. Hers would have been just strictly financial. Like, you know what I mean? She literally was scheming and stealing from people financially.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little more involved, I would say.
That's right.
And he's been doing it, and God only knows how many years. Like this is going back for JP. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No idea of what have found and how far back it goes.
Right.
So, yeah, it's gonna take a minute. He'll be in jail.
Mary's wearing it out, sharing the live. Thank you. I'll make the sounds myself. Yes, Sue has been arrested. Let me see where I'm at here. Let me send the image to this other phone so I can read it and show you what we're talking about.
Okay. We were talking about Sue Nelson. She's been arrested. 7 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. The Justice for Micah fundraiser is involved in it. That's not all though. There are other apparent fundraisers.
Who found this out this morning?
Casey. We were on a live with Casey just right before you went live.
Were y'all just looking around?
I don't know how she found it. I don't know if she was notified. All she said is she could tell us that she had been arrested, was in jail. She had those felonies and that 1 misdemeanor charge, and that was really all she could say right now. There would be more information coming later on, but right now she cannot say too much about it.
That's Finn. That's my niece's cat.
Oh,
Probably haven't seen Finn before. He's an explorer. He's usually in the window though. He's not usually able. So
he's a little orange kitty.
that's Finster, Finn. Okay.
Yeah, tan lines. I mean, they all. I know the whole crew. And a lot of other people reported it to the FBI. So
I have it now, and I've got it zoomed in. So count 1 is deposit account fraud, bad checks, which would be not fundraiser related.
right.
It's like her writing bad checks, more than $1,500 or $14.99. Count Another count is damaging, destroying, or secreting property to defraud another. What? That's,
Mm.
I don't know what that's about. Another one, she's got three of them: theft by deception, and and this is felony, and another theft by conversion, and it says felony.
Mm-hmm.
Forgery, there's another theft by conversion, forgery third degree, and criminal receipt of goods or services fraudulently obtained. That's another one. And records and reports of certain currency transactions. Do you think which one is probably receipt of goods or services fraudulently obtained?
Mm, I think it could apply. There's several of. I think a few of them could
Theft
apply
by
for the
deception
justice for
would.
Micah. Yeah,
I wonder what
yeah.
theft by conversion means. Let's ask AI. Do you know what it means?
Oh, not right offhand. I don't. I think it's basically you set out to deceive people to um gain from them, like, you know what I mean, steal from them. You basically deceive them into making yourself to be what you're not. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure that's what it means, but ask AI.
Yeah. Sue, the lady involved in the fundraising, has been arrested.
Yeah.
Uh, theft by theft by conversion occurs when someone legally obtains possession of another person's property, but then wrongfully uses it or keeps it as their own,
Ah.
depriving the rightful owner of it. This often happens in situations where the person initially had permission to use the property, but later refused to return it in an unauthorized manner. But that's property. They also include funds, and here is the fund part of it. It's called misuse of funds. Someone
Okay.
is entrusted, that's it. Someone is entrusted with money for a specific purpose,
Okay.
but instead uses it for personal gain. So that's that. There's two counts of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I would say that a couple of those apply to the uh Justice for Micah and probably whatever other fundraisers.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Bear's mama, I think so. Yeah, like she had fundraised for a fire that had happened or something, or yeah, I think so.
Hey, Herb.
It wasn't her first go around. Oh, is Herb here? Is he getting up? I'll get down.
Yeah, Herb, come on up whenever you're ready. Well, let me send him an invite if he's
Okay.
ready. He was going to give some important information
Oh,
to
cool.
those who have been on the lawsuits with fake addies.
I gotcha. I'll just mute.
Okay. I don't know. It won't let me invite him. Herb, can you hit the little pink and blue icon at the bottom of your phone? Little guy and girl icon, or comment again and see if it'll let me send you an invite. But it wouldn't give you an option on your first. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Chastity.
No problem.
Hey, Herb. Good morning.
Well, I don't want to kick anybody off.
No, I'll stay up here. I'll just be quiet.
We just hang out.
So everybody just make sure that the addresses are correct. I've been told not to say too much about that, but reach out to me privately. There is that's a very big deal in a lawsuit. Also, I go to file my paperwork yesterday, and lo and behold, while I ran into Mr. Miller in the 10 by 10 cubicle room at the magistrate's office at 21st Avenue in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So it was a very exciting day.
When you saw him, did he? What was the next thing that happened? Did he look at you and say, "Hey, stalker"?
Yeah, he said that's the guy that's been stalking my house, and and then and no, let me back up. I'm wrong. He said, "Are you going to record me now like you do, and then put it on TikTok and tell lies?" And I said, I didn't say a word. And then I said, well, we are in public and there's no expectation of privacy in public. However, the courthouses, even though technically it is public, when you get into a private room situation, you kind of have to follow their policy. And I know there's constitutionalists out there that try to challenge that, but the last thing I need to do is make these people mad because I'm in there 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. So,
Mhm.
so I didn't even pull my phone out, and I did send a text message because I wanted to timestamp what time it was so I could do a FOIA request for the camera footage in that room, and I wanted to know the exact time. But then he he pulls his phone out and holds it up and says, "That's the guy that's been stalking me." And then some man who I didn't know speaks up and says, "Yes, it is." Well, that was his dad. Never met his dad in my life, uh, and I don't know.
Sorry, it's just hilarious.
I'm sorry. Did he send a picture of you to his dad? Like, how did his dad know? He's like, yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Or are they sitting there watching TikToks together? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Hey, Cocoa Puff. Everybody come on in. I think he had to pause there for a second, maybe answering another. And my husband's home from work early, so you're going to hear a phone call and a whole bunch of noise.
That's okay. We'll just make today interesting.
I just heard him walk in the door.
It's Thursday, isn't it?
Okay,
Is it Thursday?
am I back now? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, the reason I had to go away. So an officer came through the door, and let's just say this guy was a lot bigger than me,
Hmm.
and he first asked JP not to record, um, and then he wanted to know what the problem was, and Deputy Tenney was his name, Myrtle Beach Sheriff's Department, total 100% professional. Me and him walked out in the lobby, and um, he de-escalated. I mean, I wasn't in an escalation mode. I knew what I wanted to say, and we talked through the situation. And he's very professional, and he remembered us being there on Monday when we recorded with the news station. So he remembered me being there, and um, I made a comment at 5 o'clock. He said, "Oh, but he sent the big guns up here to kick us out." He said, "I remember somebody saying that." I said, "Dude, that was me." Um, so went back an hour later. He was gone, and little did I know that while he was there, he was filing these 14 lawsuits against everybody, Allie and Melissa and
Hmm.
the other female. I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't remember her name, but um, so yeah, this happened about 1 o'clock ish, and then of course by 5:15 it was all out. The lawsuits were out there.
Oh,
So
so you went. I'm sorry. I'm. Yeah, I was blown away last night when I heard all this because I had missed not this live yesterday, but another live where you had talked to Guru. And so I was blown away, but I remembered you saying yesterday on Steph's live, like when you got off here, you were going to have to go to the courthouse and blah, blah. And so when I found this out, I'm like, they literally got in the car and went over to that court. Somebody or him was listening to this live, knew you were going there, literally went
nah,
there
no, because
knowing
he filed
you
no
were
he
going to go.
I don't think so because he filed he filed 14 lawsuits yesterday, and
14?
you don't just whip up um, paperwork from 3 different people, in a matter of you know 2 or 3 or 4 hours. Like you can't do that. So I feel like it was just coincidence that I was going in there to record my affidavit of service on with on his file where when he and he happened to be there, but he was there serving. They were filing all that paperwork for
That
the
is
other,
insanity.
and
What? Hold on.
so
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't go. I'll be right back.
Okay. She's like, don't go.
now wait, didn't she reported on the lawsuit yesterday? Didn't she?
Yeah, but he didn't file. No, his dad. So his dad now.
Well, yeah, okay. When I say him, you're right. You're right. It was his dad,
Yeah,
and it was Dylan,
and then
and
oh, I forget her name. There's a lady.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
and so yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's
what I
right.
was saying is they like to go and do that towards the end of the day, usually, when they went to go file those. So I just found it odd that people had been listening and heard you talking on here, and then you were all run into each other. I found it very, very odd. And I'm like, you're a processor, so for him to state that you're following him or stalking him is just hilarious. It's like, dude, you have to be served, so they have to do what they have to do to find you.
Exactly, and the plaintiff's attorney in this case, retained, and I'm going to say us to do that because it is a company,
Right.
but it it's and there's some other, there's some other parts that are moving now, just in the last, I'm going to say 12 hours, really
Yeah.
since 8 o'clock this morning, that that really, it's going to be a neat little puzzle when it comes out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he whipped his phone, and that's the guy that's been stalking me, and I can't wait till I get the. I will absolutely with. Um, Guru's got to be a little careful because he's got a CO against him, but I mean
Yes.
RS against him. But I'll absolutely share it here when I get that.
Oh yeah, when you
Get the
get it,
video
definitely send it
if
to
they'll
Steph.
release it to me, and because I asked the officer, I said, "Did you?" I said, "Did you know?" Is there cameras in that room? And he goes, oh yeah. How do you think I heard it in the back? So he
Right.
was actually in the back and heard it. And then,
Oh Lord.
he came through that door like you know, okay. So I don't know how old any of you people are, but anybody that grew up in the 80s, there was a famous TV commercial
Yep.
with Kool-Aid where the big
Mhm.
Kool-Aid man would bust through the brick wall.
Yes.
Yes.
Like and I'm not calling him the Kool-Aid man by any means. So nobody go back to
Right.
him and say that. He was totally cool, but it was like, bam, I'm here.
Right.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind, being a kid of the 80s.
That's great.
I'm 48, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 45. Getting ready to be 45, so I know. Yep.
So yeah, it's um
Oh Lord.
so anyway, so yeah, I can't when I get that video, I'll definitely send it to Steph and let her.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a little conversation about it.
Yeah.
So Steph, did you look it up? Did you see what happened yesterday? What they filed? And
So
who?
somebody's emailing it to me, but
Oh my
so
God.
if we're talking about 14, we're talking about 5, 5, and 4.
Do you
5
want me
Mhm.
to
for
text? Do you
Wayne.
want me to text it to you right now?
Oh God, yes.
I love it.
Yes. So
Oh yes,
5 is
please.
for Wayne, 5 for Christina, and 4 for
Mhm.
Dylan. 5 for Wayne is Ali Sandra, so we're missing. So there's 2 unknowns,
Okay.
and then Christina is Ali Sandra Melissa and 2 unknowns, and Dylan is 4 Ali Sandra Melissa and 1 unknown.
What the hell? How old is Dylan? Because we
God,
were talking about this yesterday because somebody said that he was not even 18, but then I think Guru said you only have to be 17 in the state of South Carolina to file a lawsuit, which
it's
is
possible.
which
Yeah.
is just to me I'm blown away. Like they can't even vote yet, but you can go sue somebody. Really?
Yeah, that is crazy. So I wonder if Wayne is doing that because of what. Do you
Okay,
remember the end of
Nika.
the end of the protest on Sunday? Whenever Wayne got in his car,
Uh-huh.
were you still in that live or no?
I don't remember if I was there when he was getting in his car.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say who, just because people are obviously listening, but someone was yelling, justice for Micah, but then they said stuff to Wayne. So it would just make sense
Oh.
if he was trying to use that as to why he's filing, but it still doesn't make sense for the other two filing.
No, especially Christina Best because ain't nobody talked to her. Don't nobody even know her.
Right.
We didn't even know about her until they went, changing names of churches and creating new ones, and then with RH putting the video out and showing like, oh, here's Christina Best. Nobody knew who that woman was.
No, I had no idea who she was until
No. And then I'm sorry, but I don't think Dylan has a damn leg to stand on because he's the one that's been going over on the protesters' side. I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Right. Yeah, I see that one kind of backfiring on him a little bit.
Yeah. This is all just insanity.
I may have sent a
This
couple
is
of
why I hate
duplicates there.
switching
I may have sent a couple of duplicates. If so, I'm not going to apologize to deal with it. But no,
I love you, Herb. You're my spirit animal.
so I think
He said, "You're just gonna have to deal with it, woman."
I might have sent a couple of duplicates. I'm not sure, but anyway, you should have them if you did. You were able to get them?
Yes, I've got them, and I'm looking. So, I'm going to have to get a new piece of paper here. Wayne, let's talk about Wayne's first. He's versus Christy Taylor. Did we have that one yesterday? I don't think so.
Nope.
Nope, I don't remember hearing that one.
Wayne Miller versus Christy Taylor. Does anybody know who she is?
Nope. Never heard of her.
Well, that's a new one.
Okay, Coco Puff and Greta said yes, they do.
Who is she?
Who is she, guys? Oh,
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Say that again.
She's a member of Solid Rock Church. Christy Taylor.
Yes, she is.
So he's suing a member of JP's church? What the hell? Okay.
Apparently, she came to a protest, is what Greta just said.
Oh.
There's
Continue.
two. Hold on a minute. There's two. No, that's a different. Yeah. In 86. And that's the one from Christina to Melissa, which we know about. And then there's a different one. There's to Allie from Christina. And then to Sandra from Christina. And then from Christina to Tina, Rennie Matley. Did we know that one yesterday? Tina Rennie Matling. Does anybody know who that is? This is from Christina, not Wayne. Nobody knows? Okay, so that one's a mystery then.
Guru knows.
She was on JP's suits too, they said.
Oh, really? She's a protester. So the two new ones that we know about then that's wasn't involved in yesterday is the two missing ones is Christy Taylor and Tina from Wayne. Christy Taylor and Tina. And the other missing one from Dylan, other than Allie, Sandra, and Melissa, I don't see that one, so I don't know. Because he filed 4, and we only have 3 names.
Wow.
Insanity.
She's the one they said moved out of state. Which one, Laura?
People in Facebook groups.
Oh.
70 per filing, $70. Oh my.
Yeah. I wonder who paid for Dylan's. Mama paid, you think?
Or Wayne or JP, allegedly.
Wow. Does the court, how are they going to handle this situation? They've probably never seen so many lawsuits from one person to other people.
That's what I want to know.
You know her?
Oh, it's an abuse. Is what it is. It's a total abuse of power.
Do you think they'll say something or be like, "Why? What is all of this?"
Herb said he can't say too much right now.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, he said there's stuff he can't say right now.
Yeah.
Blink twice, Herb. I'm just kidding.
If you need help.
Just blink twice if the eagle has landed.
Okay, I'm gonna text you and just please don't. You'll understand it when I text.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I
if you
love this
text her
guy.
something, she will not say it if it does not need to be said. Trust me.
I'm so glad he came in here yesterday.
Me too. Mama Coop Dylan is that guy that came across the street out of nowhere, out of the church during one of the protests. He had the phone in his hand.
He's
Uh,
Fazio's son.
yeah,
That's
Kristen Fazio's
Yes.
son. She was
and
a teacher at the First Faith Academy, and she was pictured driving Micah's white car.
right. And they said he just turned 18 as of this month.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
What? He's a kid. This right
He's a
here.
baby.
He's a baby. Don't let your kid start his adult life off with a lawsuit.
Right, which means
He
he's
don't
not the mastermind behind all
none of
this.
at all. And it's like how he would not understand, like, this manipulation of the brain.
Yep. I was just about to say brainwashed.
Go down there and file. I'll pay for it, and you get some money. Because
Yep.
the 18-year-old on earth wants to file a lawsuit. That's not what they're thinking about.
No.
Right.
They're thinking about
He
dating.
filled out Dylan's paperwork because his last name is spelled wrong on every one. Oh my gosh. So you know JP or Wayne allegedly had to be the one to fill it out then.
Wow.
Good morning, Courtney, by the way. Courtney always comes in with bombshells.
Right?
Did you look at your text message, Steph?
Hold on. Yeah, I'll look at that in a second. Who filled out because his last name? Oh, okay, gotcha. Be right back.
This is just absolutely absurd.
You get it? You see? I don't want to say that.
I totally get it. Gotcha. Out clear.
Probably.
Screenshot that, and then in like 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Who noticed? Y'all are like the sleuthers. I need to give Jens a gold star for noticing his last name was spelled wrong. Yeah, so he wouldn't have. Does he even know he filed a lawsuit? I wonder about that. When you go to file her, do you have to show your ID?
No, but signed and it's got to be signed and notarized. Anybody can file. Like I filed my stuff yesterday, but anybody can file anything as long as it's signed and notarized. Like you could go up there and file my affidavit of service, even if just as long as it's filed. Because when you file something with the court, it's not that the document is legal. It's that it was filled out and that it was signed by the person who filled it out. Now, South Carolina might be different than North Carolina, so I don't know if I would assume it has to be notarized. And which in case he probably doesn't even know what's happening though. They probably promised him a rainbow. You're going to collect all this money. Who knows?
Laura said, did you all notice under actions it says begin date 3/30 of 25? Why would this be?
It's probably a projected trial date, is what I'm guessing. Herb, could somebody then just, let's say I wanted to go down to the courthouse and I want Greta to sue Riss Ross. Could I fill out the lawsuit on behalf of Greta, or her not even knowing about it and have it fake signature? Okay,
because it's going to come back to a notary
right. So
somewhere
Dylan
along the
would-
way. Somewhere along the way, somebody's got to authorize that signature, and I can't say. I do know that there was his dad was with him. There was another lady with him on his left, but I don't. Like I said, it all happened so fast, and we're in such a small area. And this room is only 10 by 10 at the most, and there's 6, 7 chairs in there. So, and 2 doorways and a pay window or a clerk window. So this room is pretty small. And but no, you would have to either the document. I'll find out today if it's got to be notarized, but I think the document has to be notarized. So there has to be a verification of a signature.
Yeah, all my paperwork that I just had to sign for my lawyer had to all be notarized, but then I could just fax it back.
Correct. But somewhere the originals have got to show back up in that file.
So Dylan would have had to have filed this himself, and there's no trickery here. Like he would have had to know that a lawsuit was filed because he
Yeah,
had
but
it.
when you're a kid, I mean, I remember going through something, when I was 18, 19, and I remember my mom handing me these documents and saying, "Here, you need to sign these. You do it." Like now, mine was legal. I mean, it was illegal. But when you're that age, if your parents tell you to sign something, you're going to sign it. More than likely.
Yep.
He does. Oh, is it still? They didn't cancel it, Pam? You think
They would have canceled it.
they would have?
Yes, they should have canceled her notary because she is deceased.
Yeah. That's not it. They're not that. They're not that.
Yeah, I don't think they would be that. That is like that. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
not good for them at
yeah.
all.
An attorney. Somebody's going to pick that up
Yeah.
immediately.
Steph, do you remember there was a video or picture or video of JP and Susie walking in to a restaurant? Susie was walking behind him, and there was a woman in the car videoing, and he turned around and caught her.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she's one of the ones listed.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And I'm just going to throw this out in generalized terms. I think it's very possible if someone is under investigation, especially with the FBI, you start throwing the volume of suits that you're throwing out, that it's very possible that these could be halted, especially if you've got like a former member thrown in there that may have witness given statements, things like that. I do think it's very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw these get halted while they investigate to make sure nothing sinister is going on with this massive amount of lawsuits. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, somebody's got to go. What? I mean, I imagine all of this sitting on somebody's desk, and they're looking at it like somebody has lost their mind. Like somebody has went so crazy, you know.
I know I would.
Anne says hers will be dismissed. That's awesome news. I hope it will be. It's just he's out of control. Mom says, but then again, think of the money they are making. That's true. $70 a pop, and I don't know how many we're at now. If you're counting all of them together, I can't even add it up in my head. 30? I don't even know at this point.
Already made $1,600 off of him at 28.
It's null and void if it's misspelled. Pretty Pink says, is it the same magistrate that keeps taking all of the cases from JP?
It is.
What was that? What did you just ask?
Is it the same magistrate that
Yeah.
keeps taking all of these cases?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Same office.
But you were telling me yesterday that he did not file in the courthouse he's supposed to, where he lives. He's filing in a different area.
Well, there's different. Myrtle Beach is different. A lot of towns you go in there, there's like one huge big municipality building, and where the register of deeds might be there, the judgments, liens, everything. We have that in Horry County, but Horry County is like 65 miles north to south from the North Carolina state line to Myrtle's Inlet. And so what they've done is around Myrtle Beach, they have smaller municipality courthouses. And so you can file in any of them. I did find out last night. So
Okay.
now I've we filed on somebody a couple of years ago, and they told us to go to Homestown Road because, number one, there's never a line there. It's a newer municipality building. But 21st Avenue is where they have a lot of traffic court, and it's pretty busy up there. And they also, you renew your tags there. You can't renew your tags at Homestown. So, like for your car, it's just a personal preference. But with where he lives, it's closer to Homestown than it is to 21st Avenue. But you can file at any of them. I did find that out. It's not by where you live.
Have you had any dealings with the judge in particular, Judge Arquez? I don't even know how to say the name.
I have not.
Hmm.
I have not.
Yes, the same judge. We have 26,000 likes. Let's see if we can get to 50,000 likes. We have 326 souls in the room. I don't know if anybody in here can subscribe. We have 2 days left in January. I'm at 201. We're falling off because people can't renew their subscriptions. If it falls below 200, I lose 30% on the cut. TikTok is the most unfair boss ever. So if you can subscribe to help me stay above that number of 200, like I'm going to wake up on the 31st and it's going to be 199 because that's how the universe treats me. So if you are able to subscribe, you can do that while I'm live on TikTok.com on your web browser. If it doesn't work here. So let's just try to keep me above water here so I don't drown. And we'll build it back up once TikTok starts working again. But if you are able to send a Korg, today's goal is 10 Corgis. Oh my goodness. We've had an eventful 2 days, a lot of information. Yours ended yesterday. God, I hate that. TikTok is not in the App Store right now, and people can't get updates. They can't resubscribe. They can't send coins. It's really, really bad. Do any of you have any questions for Herb? Hey, Gwen.
I'm going to hop down. I was just coming up to say that. I mean, in my opinion, I can't imagine someone being under investigation, filing all these lawsuits that it has not caught their attention. Especially if there is former members of the church. So, but I will be in the comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Greta. I appreciate you. Do you guys think that the FBI is watching all of these lawsuits being filed?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's not like they don't know about them because Ann already contacted them.
Yeah, they know.
Hey, Mandy, the subscription button at the bottom isn't working because you can't purchase the subscription through the App Store. But if you'll go to your web browser, if you have a laptop or computer, and go to TikTok.com, the subscription works through there because you can use another form of payment, and then it'll kick in. So if you are near a computer, you can do it through there, but only while I'm live, which is not fair. That's another unfair part of it, you know? 100%, and they are letting him, and we'll use it against him later. Yes. Hey, Stone.
Well, there's somebody within the investigation that I've been in contact with, or that, you know, we text and talk a little bit. So I sent him a text at 5:14 yesterday. Now, all this stuff came out right at 5 o'clock. And I said, you know, hey, by the way, there were 15 lawsuits filed today. FYI, you know, thinking that here I'm being the bearer of news, right? I get a text back within 30 seconds that said, no, actually it was 14. And do you know who the defendants are? So I typed the three names, and he says, yeah, you're right. It was 8, 6, and 4, or whatever the three numbers that added up, you know, so many in this name, so many in this name. It was 519. And I said, and they had just shown up. And I said, how did you find out that quick? And he just sends me a text back and said, "Come on, man." Like, so somebody, those guys know. They know what's going on. And, this guy knew by 5:19 yesterday how many were filed under each name and what their names were, and he already had copies of them. So
Who was he again? I mean, what he's.
it's just somebody that's involved in the law enforcement side.
Oh, gotcha.
And, somebody that we're mutual friends with actually sent me the number yesterday, sent me the actual filings. And I thought, oh, this is cool. I'm going to be the guy that's going to tell this guy what's going on. Well, no, he already knew. So, I feel like everything that gets filed is going straight to the case, so to speak.
Right.
God, I hate being so vague.
I know a lot of the protesters keep up with it online that way. Like they refresh it and then just wait for another one.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what happened. And you got to figure they quit filing at 5 o'clock because, government workers are gone at 5:01. and so at 5 o'clock, I thought I was going to be the big bearer of good news to this guy. Boy, did I find out he's got an inside lock. So, which is pretty cool because that means that they know everything that's going on the minute it happens.
I had a quick question, Herb. So the lawsuit that got dismissed, is that something that we could like how does he go about that? Does he have to submit something and then that document is available to the public?
Okay, so the 21st Avenue Courthouse is the only courthouse that you can't go in there and get copies of the documents in real time. In Horry County and Conway, you could go up there and say, I want file number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, it's $1 the first page, 25 cents every page after, and you can leave with it. It's public record, unless it's sealed for some reason. 21st Avenue, you actually have to do a FOIA request, and it takes quite a bit of time to get it. Now, after saying that, the reason some of these are going to get dismissed is you must list your proper address as your address, and you must list the defendant's address as the proper address. And in some of these lawsuits, like the lady in Georgia I spoke to yesterday, I think her name was Ann, hers was a local business here in Myrtle Beach, and as her address. Well, that's not right on the court filing. So, but the problem is it's got to get to the hearing or the actual case before it can be dismissed. It's not like, unless they have an attorney that can go in there and do batches of them at a time, it's going to get to the point of going in front of the judge before it gets kicked out. But that's why a lot of these are going to get dismissed, because they're wrong addresses, and you can't file a document in a court with the wrong information.
The reason why I say that is because the last lawsuit that just got dismissed, or the only one that got dismissed as of what I recall, allegedly was filed due to the defendant thinking that that person was a protester, and that person turns out to be not a protester. So that's allegedly why the lawsuit got dropped. Like, he did an error filing. But I was just curious to see.
So basically he filed something on somebody and that wasn't true.
Yes.
So that person had to prove that they weren't there or otherwise.
Well, they haven't gone to court. That's what, from what I understand, they haven't gone to court. But then all of a sudden it got dismissed like a week later in the court system.
You don't happen to know the name, do you?
Yeah, it's Joanna.
Can you send it to? Can you send me first and last name on message or through the messages here? And the reason I say that is because there's also another person here in town that has every one of those cases on his desk. Like I mentioned Nick's case to him yesterday, Guru's case yesterday, and he said, "Oh yeah, I read that. I actually, feel like he didn't get a fair shake. Like his attorney didn't do him right." And so there's a lot of people keeping up with everything on this because they all want to drop the hammer.
Allegedly, there was a tag taken at a local restaurant. To give you a little backstory, Joanna did go to the church She is related to someone that still goes to the church through marriage. Allegedly, he thought she was a protester, hence why the lawsuit came out. And then when he found out, allegedly after running tags or someone running tags, found out that the person is not a protester, that's when that was told that was going to be dropped, essentially.
So if it's dropped before the hearing, it has to be dropped on his side, on JP's side. So
yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't know if like there was like something where he had explained, oh, I did X, Y, and Z. This person is not X, Y, and Z. Like I didn't know if that paperwork was actually available to the public.
no, you can, but you have, like I said, at the 21st, and that's probably why he's filing at 21st Street. At the 21st Street Courthouse, you have to do a full bore request. It's not like the rest of them where you can walk in and get a copy of it. However, she being Joanna, are you friends with her?
I am friends with a family member of
Okay,
hers.
she would have to have gotten that mailed to her, sent to her, whatever,
So
to her. So she would have a copy of what was filed.
she never got served because when all the lawsuits came out, I'm like, I know this name, I know this name, I know this name. Obviously, it's her married name, and I'm like, I know this name, I've seen it on Facebook before. So I messaged her family member, and I was like, hey, what is this about? And she's like, what? Like they didn't even know that she was getting sued. Apparently, in the court system, it's an address that she did live at, but not current address. So she physically never got served because the address that they had on file was a previous address she lived at, but not a current address. So
Yeah, but that wouldn't. I mean, more than likely, somebody. If she used to go to church there, obviously she reached out to somebody. The only way it can be canceled like that is he has to cancel it on his end. Otherwise, it's got to go in front of somebody. It can't just
I'm
be.
sure, yeah, I'm sure definitely. After I spoke to the family member obviously talked to her, and she probably was like, "What?" Like, and probably went down a rabbit hole, and the word probably got back to him, obviously, and then he probably realized he messed up big time and dropped the case.
Yeah, it's
Allegedly, all allegedly.
yeah. That's and see, she's gonna get. So she didn't even know. So somewhere we just need to look at that file and.
But yeah, I can send you the first and last name, and then I can also send you what I sent to Steph, the communication log that I had with a family member in just regards to like what allegedly potentially happened. But I don't mind sending that to you.
Okay.
You're on TikTok.
It's it's amazing to me the amount of trouble that they're going through, that he's going through to try to run all these schemes. I mean, there's just you think about it, that's a lot to keep up with and a lot going on, and I just don't see how anybody could keep all that straight. And I mean, I don't. When I'm 56 years old, I don't know anybody that's filed 24 lawsuits in the period of 10 years, much less 3 months,
Yeah, and you probably will never see it again in your lifetime because this is insane.
Right. So if people file for a change of venue, does that have to be granted or can they deny that?
You mean change of venue?
Like to go to another judge. Down here we call it change of venue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, so magistrate court, which is what small claims court is, it's called magistrate court in South Carolina. It's you're given it like a date and a time to the minute. Like there's a case every 10 minutes, usually 15 minutes. And they're usually small claims. You were supposed to clean my carpet. You didn't. I paid you, whatever. Well, that's done in a very private setting. They let literally one in, one out, one case in, one case out. As an example, the countersuit that Regina Ward filed, she requested a jury trial. And so that's going to be an automatic change of venue because they don't do jury trials,
Awesome.
in magistrate court. I mean, it is still technically district court, but it's still technically district court, but you're just requesting a jury trial. But yeah, you could do a change of venue. If you did, they would just probably send you to the main courthouse in Horry County, which is in Conway.
Is
You
it
know,
common for people to ask for juries for like common ticket violations? Do you see that often?
Like speeding tickets.
I mean, you really have to. It's usually a careless and reckless situation, or it's something that is criminally. Because, I mean, you have that right, though. That's the thing about being an American. I mean, we have rights, and you have the right to a jury trial of your peers within the judicial system. So, and in this situation, I mean, it's going to be really tough to pick a jury in Myrtle Beach that doesn't know who this guy is
Oh, absolutely.
and know his back history.
Someone in the comments asked, question, can the person being sued have their attorney represent them, or do they have to be there?
It depends, but yes, the attorney can be there for them. That's why you hire one a lot of times, and you give him. I mean, he has, I guess, power of attorney to act on your behalf. But most of the time, you have to be able to testify, and the attorney can't testify on your behalf other than saying, "Hey, here's the supporting documents."
Right.
So, like in her case in Georgia, where it's the wrong address, if the attorney went to court and filed the motion, and then it gets to the hearing, he could, because that's an automatic dismissal. And I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But he could, yes, he could show up in your behalf. And like a speeding ticket, they absolutely can. A speeding ticket, something like that, they absolutely can show up on your behalf and handle it for you.
Do you know how many speeding tickets John Paul has gotten? I mean, have you heard about this?
I've heard he's had a bunch of them.
Way more than we feel the normal. Like especially in Tennessee, if I've gotten pulled over 50 times, I'm losing my license. And so it's just an excessive amount, and somehow he still gets out of it every single time, and he still has his license.
I don't know anything about his driving record, but in North Carolina, you can take a class, and if you take a class, you lose 5 points on your license, and a speeding ticket's only 2 or 3, depending on what level. So you can get rid of 2 tickets just by taking a 90-minute class.
They're asking, could these people who are being sued sue JP then for the lawyer fees after the cases are dismissed, or how does that work? Can you countersue? Would that be in the countersuit then for the lawyer's fees?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm sure, I didn't read the documents, but in most cases, when you do a countersuit, your countersuit's listed in there, quiet's in there, and then within that lawsuit, they ask for the attorney fees. As far as being found not guilty or being thrown out, and then suing after, having not countersued. There again, I'm not an attorney, I don't know, but a lot of times it comes down to, is it worth it? Attorney fees, to have to go through all this again. He has to be served. He has 30 days to respond. There's a lot. It's not like you just go file and get in front of a judge 2 or 3 days late. So they make it really complicated for both sides.
Another
So
question.
even those lawsuits yesterday, like all those people are going to get served, but who knows? Is it going to be from the sheriff? Is it going to be from an independent? I doubt he paid for an independent, because we cost more than the sheriff does.
Mm-hmm. One quick question from the comments. In a civil case, does the magistrate have the ability to accept or unaccept the lawsuit?
If the lawsuit is filed under legal ground, meaning they filled out the paperwork right, I'm not an attorney again, but that's why we have a judicial system. You file it, and then you get in front of the judge and plead your case. So you can, I can sue you, Steph, because I think you should be a brunette instead of a blonde. It's totally frivolous, but we're going to get in front of a judge, and you're going to plead your case, and I'm going to plead mine, and then we're going to figure it out. But as far as filing, you can file. I mean, the McDonald's hot coffee thing. You guys remember that, where the guy sued McDonald's because the coffee
Yes.
burned his legs.
I remember that.
That's. I mean, you can file for anything. It's just a matter of where does it go.
They have to hear it no matter what. Oh man. Hey, Iowa Princess, did you have a question or something to say?
I don't know, I just think it's like this whole thing with JP with these lawsuits. You think that the FBI would be watching this whole? I'm assuming, Herb, that the FBI is watching this whole thing. I mean,
Let's just say I'm assuming they know. Remember me? Were you here when I just told the story about? I thought I was being really cool by disclosing information at 519, and they already had all the names, all the cases, all the everything. Yeah, at 519.
So wouldn't you think that they would step in and be like, hey, this is nonsense, with this whole thing with JP's case? I mean, with watching them, you think that they would squash the whole thing.
But here's the thing, and this gets back to being an American. We live in a country where you're free to do whatever you need to do, and they sort it out later. So,
right.
If they just came up and said, you can't do that because it's ridiculous, that's where it would have to go. Each case would have to go in front of a judge, and then at that point they say, okay, this is ridiculous. You're not allowed to do this anymore. Then there could be something like that. But, this gets back to no different than protesters. In this country, we can protest as long as we do it under the legal guidelines, and and don't trespass, and don't, like, that's why we live here. And as much as I hate that system of seeing what these people do, at the end of the day, it's America. So, and also, what goes around comes around. So one day all this is gonna come to fruition,
Yeah, I'm hoping that sooner or later that one day that karma's gonna turn around and bite JP in the ass. I mean, I wish this case would, jump forward, but the FBI's got to have a solid case to, put the silver bracelets on him. So.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts.
South Carolina says once convicted, they will assign a trustee, and then the trustee can drop all of the bogus suits.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Once convicted, they will assign a trustee, and then the trustee can drop all of the bogus suits.
Correct. The best thing that could happen, and I don't know if this could be done, but everything could get continued to the same day. Then, because I feel like if everybody was there on the same day, or everybody's court date was on the same day, it would, it would make it a little tougher for him. Because when you start suing for loss of income, I mean, you have to prove that person cost you income.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to prove, that these people that they individually did harm to him to cause him to lose $7,500. Because that's what he's alleging.
And he essentially, he's asking, if you're looking at it, if I'm a judge and I'm reading these papers, he's asking for this lawsuit to be granted on one of the bases is that he is losing money at the church, but that's due to his own actions and people coming up with their own opinions. It doesn't have anything to do with everybody's constitutional right to peacefully protest. Just like you said, we can go sue somebody over burnt coffee, but we can also protest because we don't like the color of the building until the end of time. And as long as you follow the peaceful protest law, you're not doing anything wrong.
Correct. And the one thing I will say about, because I've driven through there on Sunday many times, and we've all seen the news. We've all seen how protests get out of hand. And the one thing I will say about the people that protested in Market Common, because I live in Market Common, they followed the rules. They didn't trespass. They didn't burn any buildings down or
Right.
start any fires. And I mean, you did it. You guys did it right. I say you guys. I mean, I know there's a lot of people on here that have been to protest. And I've ridden through many, many days and honked my horn and waved, but there was a reason because of what I did that I didn't want to be there before, and because I was pretty much under the radar. I actually went to the FBI thing the day they raided his house. I was walking up and down the street with, and nobody knew who I was, even though I was the guy that was in all the videos back in May, and I kind of liked it that way at that time. But I have a feeling, mine's coming. Like he made the comment that he was going to take care of me, so I couldn't do that.
I was just about to ask you, do you think you're next?
Oh yeah. But there's more to that. It's going to be neat because I mean, I had court paid. I was technically an officer of the court. Subcontractor is an officer of the court handling court-ordered business. So did I go on his property at any point without papers in my hand? No. So
Yeah. So
I think it's pretty cool that you can get. So you guys saw the video of that somebody took from their balcony as I come driving up in the yellow Jeep. I don't know if you saw it or not. It was posted by Guru. So what happened was the two cleaning ladies drove up, and this person who's a neighbor saw the cleaning ladies drive up, gets her camera out and starts recording, and then here I come around the corner. So it just so happened they get me, from the condos across the street because they were actually recording the cleaning ladies. But who the heck? I mean, there's ladies on here right now, probably more than men. Who in the heck knows the cleaning ladies are in your driveway and you're still wearing a robe?
I know. I was like, oh my God, I would be so like, ew. I would feel so uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what most people have a issue. I mean, just it's his audacity. His audacity level don't have a top. It's like the audacity. He thinks he's it, and he's right, and everybody's doing everything to him.
Exactly. You like the mini Jesus? You commented on that, didn't you? The mini Jesus on the doorbell.
Hey, Steph, that's why he's 100% narcissist. He thinks he's in the right.
Always.
Oh my goodness.
I was involved. I wasn't involved. There was a murder case in my town where I grew up, Burlington, North Carolina, that my family was friends with that family. And it's so interesting looking back at at how this played out and how he was compared to how the husband was in that situation. Because in that situation, I don't think the husband did it. I really don't. Never will. And I don't think JP did this, but it's like in every situation, it's like, man, history's just repeating itself on this other case.
Yeah.
And, this particular individual told my mom that disappeared, told my mom 3 weeks before she disappeared, if I disappear, my husband did it. And mom said, I didn't know how to take that. Well, she disappeared 3 weeks later. This is a very, like, just the actions are just so, so similar. He wasn't a pastor, but I mean, the actions were so, so similar. So you're right about the narcissist. I got to give you, that's 100% dead on.
I'm just reading some of the comments. Tired and Retired says, give him all the credit he deserves. He is a full-blown embodiment of the entire cluster B ED. Let me say this. I do have sort of a inside source. Look, I can't talk. Connected to the police department. And I got word, and I talked about this a little bit, but there are the police department. There are some that are pro JP, but there are some that are not, and they are for the protesters and for justice for Micah. And so even the event of them having to go to the protest and just being involved in this has really, from what I'm hearing, allegedly, supposedly, everything is alleged. There is a torn sense of feeling in the police department, and it's causing tension because of some are for and some are against. No, he's not Cajun.
Who's Cajun?
Oh, Cajun Honey's commenting. She says he ain't letting Jesus in the devil's den.
Oh.
Yes, hey Tree. Yeah, there are good cops. Yes, Tiger. That's what I'm saying. The police department is getting divided at this point. The tensions are growing. And I wonder if the FBI is noticing that all the tensions are growing, and does that affect their investigation at all, as far as, or they're just going to take their time and kind of block everything else out that's going on around.
I think they have a job to do, and I think that they're playing chess, not checkers, if that makes any sense. They're in it for the long game. Yeah. And I think the long game is going to really prevail in the end.
Mm-hmm. Joyfully says, I think that's it depends on if they find. Tactical reporter says, shouldn't be any division. They are there to enforce the law. Think it can second. Totally agree. 1,000% agree on that. I don't have an update on the money exchange. And Herb, do you know about this incident that happened at 2 protests ago? It was the same day that Dylan came out of the church and came across the road with the phone, and Allie told him to get out of there, and they had a brief interaction, but it wasn't anything, not like he has no reason to file those lawsuits. But anyway, that same day, the police were called because of Dylan walking across the road, and the ladies felt kind of uncomfortable about that. And so the policeman that came, there was an older one, but there was a young one. The young one, somebody remind me of his name, Michael Schmiznik or something, used to go to Solid Rock Church. And him and John Paul Miller were parked on the side, and all of a sudden, it's caught on video, John Paul Miller hands something out of the window to the police officer. And I was able to allegedly, later on confirm, allegedly, that was actually $50 in cash that the police officer was getting him to give him because of sympathy for a protest family who needed money that was at the protest. So I don't have an update on that. And we don't know for sure what that was for. But I'm pretty sure that the one he handed it to is pro JP, or he wouldn't have took it. He would have been like, no, I'm not going to take the money. That's against the law. It's not right. There's people filming.
Exactly.
Check your text messages.
I can see that. So my question about that is, isn't it? I was told. See, my heart broke when I saw that 21st Street needs a FOIA request because I will never get it. Horry County has really never filled any FOIA requests for me at all, and I've complained about it to the state, who said, "Well, we don't care." So basically, that was the gist of it. So I stopped filing for them because I don't get them. But my question in the process of doing this that I found out is that, or that's what they told me. I don't know if it's true. If you want a body cam footage, you have to get a court order. Is that true or false?
I do not know. I don't think so. I think you can. Hold on a second. I've got a message. I got to check my messages because I have a message with the Myrtle Beach Police Department on this. Let me. I'm going to screenshot it and text it to you, Steph, and then we'll read it together.
Okay, sounds good. We are almost at 50,000 likes. I know you guys can do it. Only 6 more thousand likes. We have 305 souls in this room right now. Today's live goal, if you can throw a corky cork, is 10 corks, and I will pin that. We have 4 of the 10. One of the things I wanted to bring up is thank you to Mandy, who subscribed. And thank you to Ponzi, who subscribed. And I may have missed a few along the way, but I know we at least have 500 subscribers. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for the cord. Who sent it? Tree. Tree sent the corky cord.
Still not letting me subscribe online. When I dropped down out of the box for a second, I had logged in on my other phone online to try and subscribe, and it's still not letting me. So if there's anybody in here that's doing that and you're in the Discord, will you please do a step-by-step in the Discord so I can mine doesn't run out till the 5th, but I just want to make sure I can get it done before then.
Thank you, Wishes and Wings, for the cord. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Aw, Wishes, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. So basically, I think it's the computer thing. You got to go to a computer or a laptop and then go to TikTok.com and do it that way. And I know it sucks and it's not convenient and it takes an extra minute, but stick with me here. What I'm hearing from sources is around the 13th of February, it should be back in the App Store.
Okay. Just I'll bring my laptop home from the shop, and next time you're live, I'll log in that way and do it. Just be on the safe side in case the 13th doesn't work.
I'm going to schedule a meeting with my TikTok manager. I know I said that, but I might can even get on this schedule for tomorrow, and just complain. There's nothing he can do about it, but he's going to hear me being about it. And I'm sure, he can give the feedback like, this sucks.
It does suck so much.
Okay, so I reread my messages, and if you have it date and time stamped and the officer's name, you can do it. Now, I've talked to people that have done it through Myrtle Beach Police, not Horry County, but through the Myrtle Beach Police Department, and they've always got the body cam footage.
Well, because I have a list a mile long of body cam footages. If that's the case, I'll be emailing them today with my complete list.
I don't know what the cost is. I do know there's a charge.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I don't know what the process is, but here, I've got a number actually that I can text you.
There's so many body cams that we need, right, folks? How many body cam footages would we love to see?
A lot.
Because we do the 911 calls. Somebody got a whole bunch of them. But wouldn't it be interesting to see the body cam footage, especially from the Micah Miller calls, where they're going to talking to JP at his house?
I would absolutely love to see those.
True, tie-dye, true. We hit 52,000 likes. Keep going as far as you can. We have 305 souls in the room.
I was wondering, because some of our police cruisers down here, especially the newer ones, they have the nonstop running dash cams in their cruisers, to where even if that cop at the protest had his body cam off, maybe his dash cam cruiser, if he has one, could have captured that conversation between him and JP and what that money was really for, allegedly.
And do we know for a fact it was $50, or is that just something that people are kind of assuming?
That is something that Steph got from her source, so I'm not sure. I'll let her
Okay.
know for
No,
that.
that's fine. That's fine. That's what I'm wondering. Is it just something that? Because I would.
Because you had to pause. Yeah. So the end of that story is it was $50, but the cop said it was for a family in need that had come to the protest. So there was a lady there that day that wasn't a part of the protest that did walk by, and some folks tried to help her. But she wasn't there at the time that the money was handed, and there's no video of the police officer finding the woman to give the money to her. So where did the money go? I also heard that the officer is being reprimanded for taking that money, because the video that I posted of the incident was taken straight to the police chief.
Him being reprimanded, wouldn't that be public record? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, people are saying we're going to FOIA. Well, there's no FOIA really. It was just a quick money exchange. I don't even know if it was JP probably did not expect me to find out how much, and that it was money. Because at first I thought, is he giving him a business card, which is so old school nowadays. So I'm like, no, that's not right. Is he giving him a sucker? What is it? A piece of gum, a sticker? What's going on? But I did eventually find out what it was. Interesting, huh? Yay! Awesome, boss.
Do we know? Do we know his name?
I do. Look, we'll have a private conversation, you and I. But
We're talking. We're talking private now.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we've gone to the next level.
We'll have a private conversation. But yes, I will give you some more information about that on the side. Well, I don't think it's for dealing. I don't know what it's for. Everybody says allegedly, supposedly. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But people are speculating that it could be payment for running tags, because we're wondering, how are all of these tags getting ran? Because what he's doing is getting tag numbers from cars that are parked at the protest, and he's filing lawsuits. How is he running all of these tags? Is it through a private investigator?
You may have just hit the nail on the head there.
I mean, he didn't have a PI for money.
Cousin says so many people are watching JP and his cruise that you would think JP would be very careful. And that's the thing. And I'll send you a link to the video, Herb, because you can see him. It's not like he was like here. It was like.
Yeah.
He looked all
hey,
around him.
I'm sending you a text right.
I love his spirit.
He just said right now.
He fits right in with us, don't he?
He does. And then somebody named Courtney put in the comments, 911 call, they asked for the tag numbers. But even then, how would JP get all that?
Right.
Yeah, go look at that right
If
now.
you got it, I mean, honestly, if you have a very good resource within the department that you're buddies with, that you know, and that they are for you, and you want them to run you some tag numbers, they'll do it on the down low. I've had it done. But damn sure don't be paying, for it. But that's just, Jesus.
We're going to have to, we are. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Did you
sure.
see it?
Yeah, I
Did you
saw
see
it.
what I just said?
Yeah, I did.
And if you look back up and see the comment, there's a comment um, up there. Where'd it go? Do you know that person?
Oh, I'm trying to find it. Mm, I don't know them, but let me see. Hmm. I'll have to check that one out. I'll have to check that profile out and make sure that this is not a.
JP is not watching the live. He's told everybody he does not have TikTok.
He's got TikTok. He's a damn liar.
He's in here right now.
OMG. I've been saying that. Hi, JP. Hair looks nice.
Right?
Oh Lord.
Wait, somebody just.
Yeah, and JP don't like me. I've seen the text messages. He does not like. I don't care. I don't like him either. My husband's coming down the stairs and he's trying to be so quiet and it's so cute. It's okay, hon. It's okay.
Hello,
Wait,
Steph's
whoa,
husband.
whoa. Does he know about our private conversations? Because I need to be full disclosure that me and you have private conversations. Does he know about our
Oh
private
gosh,
conversations?
he knows my profession,
Okay.
don't you, honey?
Okay. I just want to, I don't need to, guns don't kill people, jealous husbands do.
No, he don't care. He really don't even deal with social media. He just supports me in whatever I do. So he understands. I talk to all kinds of people at all hours of the day, and he accepts it.
That was a joke. But anyway,
No, he's good.
somebody said I was one of the
It's a
girls.
valid point.
I said I'm very straight.
Can you meet
So,
him? They're wanting to meet you, baby. You want to come over and say hello? Just come behind me and wave at him. He don't like. He's very, very shy. He doesn't just, yeah, just. That's okay. Hey, everybody, there's 306 souls in here.
Hello.
Hey.
This is my husband of 30 years.
Nice to meet you.
30. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep, he got home from work
Uh,
early today.
Dude, you're a creep. You married her when she was like 6, right?
Oh. Do
Did you hear
what?
what I said?
Huh?
I said you married her when she was 6, man. That makes you kind of weird. Kind of like somebody else we know going after younger women.
I was 17 and he was 18. 19, no, it was in May, but you turned 19 the following July. So it's just a couple months before.
Dude, she's right. Quit arguing with her. You didn't stay married 30 years because you don't agree with what she says.
He said
Don't try
no,
to
I was
correct her
19.
now.
He said no, I was 19. I have to remind him how old he was.
I mean, when you serve 30 years in jail, I mean, what's 31? You know what I mean?
Well, technically, we've been together for 32 years. So since 1991, he's been in jail.
So me and another TikTok channel that you know, um, we're talking this morning that you get information from in Myrtle Beach. Um, we were talking about what if we record all of the process servings we do with body cams and then we just blurt out the people's face. You couldn't do them live, I don't feel like, but I think people would really kind of get into that. Like, who's he going to get this time? Of course, we'd build the drama a little more than. Like, I went to a used car lot today, shopping for a used car that I had no intentions of buying. I just needed to serve the salesman. So he came right out on the lot. And I said, I got some papers for you. If you run back inside, I'm going to make a scene. Otherwise, let me just hand you this sheet of paper and I'll get in my car. I'm not interested. And he did, and he took them and it was all cool. But I think people would be interested to see how this business works.
I would love it.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
would.
I mean, I think you have a whole thing there. I would watch, even if we're not connected to the case, I would watch people being served.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get
Well,
your brown shirt and hat yet?
no, but I told my buddy last night that we do a lot. I do a lot for him, and he does a lot for me. And like if he knows somebody personally and he gets the case, or if I know him personally, we don't serve our personal friends. We pass it off to somebody else. And I told him about the UPS thing, and he loved it. And he's got a dealership shirt. He's got a Ford dealership mechanic shirt he bought at Goodwill for like 50 cents. It's got his name on the thing. Looks like a mechanic. And he said he'll wear it every once in a while. But um, 90% of the cases we get, the people. Okay, so think about this: every lawsuit, every divorce, every child support hearing, um, people have to be personally served. So 99% of the time, they know it's coming. They know the papers are coming. So when I call you up, I say, hey, this is, I got some papers here from, such and such a court. Uh, here's the deal. You can try to hide from me, but I'm going to get you. But I'd rather just meet you in a public parking lot somewhere. I pull up in my car, you pull up in yours. I'll hand you the envelope, and we're done. And
Mm-hmm.
95% of the time, it goes down that way. And then you get the ones that don't want to cooperate, and those are the fun ones. Like the guy at the car lot this morning. He wouldn't. He told me 2 days ago to how can I say this without cussing? Go have sex with myself. And so I just made sure that, I, I pulled up on there, and his boss knew I was coming. So his boss actually is the one that sent him out because I called his boss and told him. I said, you don't want me to make a scene in the dealership. I'm not going to make a big scene, but you don't want that in your business. So, and they were child support papers. And the dude didn't pay his child support. I'm getting him. I don't care what I have to do.
Right?
So, each, and we get, now I don't want to do it with, with this particular case, but yeah, if you ever want to see it happen, it's pretty uneventful for the most part.
Hi, Charlene. Well, it's time for me to go for the day. Herb, we are forever grateful for you. And I'm so glad. Somebody's trying to call. I'm so glad that you come in here and speak with us. We are just very grateful that you take the time out of your day. That means a lot to me and a lot to everybody in here.
Well, I,
Absolutely.
I did not know Micah. I have a lot of friends that mutual friends with her, neighbors, people I've known, and I mean like 8 or 10 that knew her personally, and so I kind of got involved through them, and then uh, and couldn't imagine what if this happened to somebody that I knew. So
Let me ask you one more question. Now that he knows who you are and you've had this interaction, in the future, if there is a lawsuit against him, can you still serve that? Can you pick them, or now is it best that other servers serve him, or are you going to continue to serve him?
I'll, I'll be Regina Ward's process server on this, absolutely. And see, nobody commented on the fact that um, wait a minute, let me think. No, I guess so. I literally had a beard on Monday and I didn't on Tuesday. So if you look at those two videos, you can see one of them I had a beard and one I didn't.
I noticed
So
that.
you did?
Yes, I did because I was like, wait a minute, hold on, there's something different. I'm like, wait, his face. Yes, I did.
No, I screwed up trimming. I said, what the heck? I'm done with it. I'll just show you. And but nobody's even commented on that. But um, yeah, the only difference is I'll never go to his house again. Um, even though I will say that I got, oh, I don't know, 5 text messages on Monday when he got back home from neighbors that he thinks like him. And I'm glad he's on here listening right now. So, neighbors text me and said, hey, he just pulled back in, because I went Monday night and he didn't answer. And I didn't answer the door. So, yeah, I'll probably still do it. I'll just, I can walk in the church on Sunday and do it. I could do it right there.
Oh, that would be epic.
Be classic.
That would be.
As long as I'm not, as long as there's no restraining order, which
I
I
just
figure
want
is
to make
probably
sure
coming.
that Herb sees
Right.
Micah's Ducks comments. He said, "Hey Herb, thanks for all your help with this and me. I appreciate you."
Oh, we appreciate. We glad we can help. There he is. I see it. Micah's Ducks.
That
Make
is,
sure you send me a message. Are you from Myrtle Beach, Micah's Ducks? Do you live in Myrtle Beach?
oh,
That's the one that you
that's-
served.
yeah.
The
He's the one.
countersuit.
He's countersuing, and that's the one you served. That's the one you delivered, Micah's Ducks.
Oh, you're the one that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that I. Okay. Um, are there neighbors? I do not know if there's neighbors for him or not. I just know that between 2 or 3 mutual friends I have that know people on that street, we have no problem getting text messages when he drives in his driveway.
I bet the neighborhood is so ready for him to move and get out of there.
I know I would be.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, whoever Nico is, I did not go to the church. I have not been to a protest. I've only driven through there, and I've only driven through there. So he's surrounded by people. Yeah, I heard this a lot about your story. A lot of the interview we did with Channel 13 was 29 minutes long, and you only saw like a minute on the news. Um, I was, I'll be honest, I was blown away by some of that stuff that was said. So,
Hey, Herb, for all of us, please go serve him at church. That would be an entertainment worth really watching.
I probably wouldn't myself, but I would have a very close friend. Um, if I do, I tell you what, I can't say this. I got to send a text to Steph, but let's just say that, yeah, I got to send a text to her. But yeah, we'll, wouldn't it be really cool if we did it Facebook Live?
It would be.
What if you went Facebook Live and then I joined you? Okay. I know he's listening. I don't
He's writing down all of the places. Might be at church, Facebook Live.
And I said Barnes and Noble yesterday, and I meant to say Books a Million. Apparently, that was a lie, you know. And there was one other lie too, where I've
Oh,
misspelled
Lord.
the name.
Same
Cindy instead of
difference.
Susie.
Micah's
Oh.
Ducks said, "Micah was a dear friend of mine, and while I never wanted to be a face, in quotations, of anything, but I had to stand up for her." I love that. Thank you, Micah's Ducks.
Well, here comes
Well,
Littles. Littles is like, it's the little. Come here. Tell him hello. Come here, my cat. He's like, it's time to go. Time to go.
oh, you're literally losing your husband away from being a crazy cat lady, then, right? How many cats do you have?
Yes, I have 2 kitties, and they always want to. They don't bother me unless I'm working right here at my desk, and then they're all over me.
So you need one more cat, one less husband, crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
So one other thing, somebody actually literally sent me a message that said I was torturing the dogs by ringing the doorbell. Because I rang it like 8 times. And so I've gotten like 3 different messages from people that, it's not fair to the dogs in the house to antagonize them like that. So I want to clear the air on something. I raise seeing eye dogs. And what I mean by that is I get a puppy at 6 weeks old, maybe 8 weeks, and I keep it until it's 14 months and do all of the socialization training that goes with that puppy. I then give the puppy back to the Guide Dog Foundation. It goes through 4 months of training, and then it gets assigned to a person, to a blind person. My last dog got assigned September the 29th in Long Island, New York. That's where the Guide Dog Foundation's out of. And the lady, super nice lady, 60-ish years old, um, lived in the Bronx. And so that dog is now in the Bronx every day taking her to work. So I am about, I mean, I am not a dog hater. And I'll tell you what, one day we'll go live and I got a puppy right now. He's 5.5 months old. And and just to tell you something they can do at 5.5 months, if I put his food down We might feed him tomorrow during this if you want to, or one day. I can put his food down and he'll sit in front of him for 10 minutes and he will not eat it until I blow a whistle. That's the code to eat.
Oh,
Another cool thing that guide dogs do, and this got the HOA called on me, is they pee and poop on a hard surface because most guide dogs are in inner city situations. So you have to teach the dog to pee on a hard surface, in other words, the road. And so if it hadn't rained for 4 or 5 days, you look out in front of my house, there's a bunch of spots all in the road where the dog pees in the road. And I had the HOA called on me for that. And you cannot pet the dog, man, because when the dog has his vest on, he's working, and there's very strict rules about that. But maybe one day we'll go live and I'll have the dog in Walmart or something to show you guys what we do. But
that's
it's
awesome. That would
so
be
yeah,
cool.
so I'm such a heartless person that I keep a dog for 14 months and then I give him up and he goes to New York. So
Well,
I've
let
been
me make
involved
a
with five.
point about the dogs and them barking when you were there. Did anybody pay attention that when he opened the door or when you were ringing the doorbell at the door, that the dogs were not at the door, nor were they with JP when he answered the door, so they're probably in a damn crate somewhere or locked in a room.
Hmm.
No,
Who's
they're there.
abusing the dogs?
No, they're there. I can see them through the little. You can see them through the little glass thing. And but see, he tells him to quiet down as soon as. Okay, 'cause I know he's listening. So how we know he's home is when you ring the doorbell and the dogs bark for like 3 seconds and then they shut up. We know then that he's home because he quiets the dogs down. But if
Um,
they bark and bark and bark and bark and bark, then we know it. So we know on the first ring whether he's home or not. And
But
if you go
don't
back
one
to
of
my
those
videos from,
dogs belong? Didn't one of those dogs belong to Micah?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
I'm sure, but I do not know. So can you have
Well,
my auction voice?
I will be live again in the morning, Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we are live on Sunday. Sunday show, I'm trying to confirm it. I need to actually confirm that today because we need to start promoting. But John Brent McGee's family has an update for everyone. They want to come on and update everybody in the case of missing John Brent McGee. If you're follow that case and watch the other live a few Sundays ago. So make sure I'm going to make an event. Make sure you register for that. That'll be Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. John Brent McGee. I also got some messages from Morgan, where in the case of where is Bradley Strassner. So I'm going to get caught up with her and she's wanting to come back on for an update. So we've got some case updates coming in the next few weeks. So look forward to those. And unless something goes down, because y'all know I'm ready to throw down just whenever, I will be live again in the morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know that you make my dreams come true right before my eyes. I get up each and every morning and I'm so thankful for you. And I say a prayer to thank you for letting me do what I do and make a difference. And thank you for bringing all these wonderful people to me. Amen. Make sure you follow me on any social media platform. All you have to do is look for the same username and logo. I am on YouTube especially, but I am also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and all of the platforms ever. Wherever you are, there I am too. I love each and every one of you very, very much. Be kind to one another and have a blessed day. Thank you, Herb. Thank you, Riz. Thank you, Alwa. And thank you,